Let me take you back to 2017. Again, a year that many people look back on fondly. The rap scene was poppin', Fortnite was emerging on the scene, and Instagram was going crazy. Now this was a post-2020 internet, before every soccer mom was on TikTok shaking their ass for a drop of sweet clout. Now that's not to say that nobody was seeking clout back then. That's far from the truth, in fact. Back then, people seemed to be willing to do almost anything to get a bit of clout, including almost killing themselves, robbing stores, and of course, squeezing lemons into their eyes. And among this fine lineup of clout goblins stood John Gabbana, also known as Boonk Gang, a man who went just a little bit farther than the competition, gaining the eyes of many on the internet and becoming more famous than he could ever imagine, while at the same time slowly dying and destroying himself at the exact same time. This is the story of Boonk Gang. John Gabbana was born John Robert Hill Jr. in Jacksonville, Florida on August 3, 1996. His life started off pretty rough, being born to a 16-year-old mother with the birth father being 21. Born into a family of 14, money and space was pretty tight. John's actual father wasn't in his life all that long, leaving the family right after he was born to pursue a life in the streets. This left the family a lot worse off. However, there would be some luck though when his mother would marry a new man by the name of Dirk Marshalls. He became John's de facto father figure and helped keep the family stable. During John's school days, he would play baseball, t-ball, football, and run track and field, being pretty good at all of them. Eventually though, it became hard for John to pursue these since his childhood was so turbulent. He watched his parents get into several violent fights throughout his childhood, even sometimes turning into full-on fistfights. He even recalls having to call the cops several times because of just how bad his mother would beat his stepdad up, but it all came to an end when his stepdad would unfortunately pass away from bladder cancer in 2010. After that, his mother began to spiral down into depression, becoming even more neglectful of her 6 children, not buying them new clothes, books for school, or even throwing them birthday parties. Even worse than that, she would often beat her children as well. At one point, choking John's sister so bad she ended up passing out, as well as smacking Boonk in the face, leading him to stumble and fall, smashing his face off the corner of the couch and chipping a tooth. The abuse got so bad that at one point John began to fear for his life. After witnessing his mother watching a TV show about how mothers would murder their entire families, she would tell John she was going to do the exact same thing if she was given the chance, even waving a gun around and telling him this was how she was going to discipline him from now on. In what he considered self-defense, he began plotting to kill his own mother at the age of 16. One of his older brothers did end up eventually stabbing his mother, making her even more bitter and angry towards them. During the same time, Boonk began writing rap lyrics and even recorded his first track at the age of 15 in hopes of one day making it big and getting out of his horrible situation. Soon after, the family's savings would dry up and they began moving around the country from state to state, forcing Boonk to switch schools frequently, which he didn't really mind that much considering it gave him access to new women. He eventually stopped playing sports, stopped doing his homework, and barely graduated by the end of his high school career. Once he finished high school, his mom immediately kicked him out of the house, leaving him lost and alone in the world. His rap career wasn't picking up any steam and his job at Popeyes was barely paying the bills. This is when he began to post comedic videos on Facebook and Vine in hopes of getting some clout so he could finally launch his rap career. However, his girlfriend didn't approve of him making a fool out of himself, so she forced him to take all his videos down. They eventually broke up, leading Boonk to move back in with his mother for a short time, getting thrown right back into the cycle of abuse. This is when he became aware of Fatboy FFC. Seeing the attention he got online for his stupid stunts led Boonk to try the exact same thing, starting an Instagram page where he posted more skits. One day while he was on live, he asked his fans what he should do, and they told him to jump behind the Wendy's counter and steal some free food, which he happily did.
Don't wait for nothing, you feel me? You fix your own motherfucking shit. Remember that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Where you going? Big guy, look. Where you going?
You don't wait for them. They take forever, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait for them. Hey, Boonk gang, whole lot of gang shit, you know what I'm saying?
His video blew up on Instagram, gaining over 1 million views, finally getting Boonk the attention he wanted. After this, he began to run with his gimmick full time. He would rob several more fast food places as well.
Boonk gang, whole lot of gang shit, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that, I don't need the manager, nigga. Fuck the bill and everything. You know what I'm saying?
As well as clothing stores, watch places.
It's $1,000. Diamonds.
Boonk gang, whole lot of gang shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, run off with the diamonds in the bitch in the ball, you know what I'm saying? In the ball.
Steel tattoos. And
yeah. How much for the tat though? 50.
Yeah.
For these 3 letters?
Yeah, 50.
50. This man said 50 tats for the. Oh, bro, I got 20.
Nah, 50, bro.
50.
Yeah, shot minimum, man.
You got something on your shirt though.
I ain't got no real shit.
I'm gone, man.
and even a fish market where he would snatch a lobster out of its tank.
If it's 3 fans, it's 3 cars. It's 3 pounds.
So how much is one?
So 1 band would be £1. And you're not supposed to be.
Oh shit, I got a lobster.
You got it.
Ooh! 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 Lobster bit! I got a fat ass lobster, know what I'm saying? Hold
Every time he would do this, he would scream his iconic line, "Boonk gang, whole lot of gang shit."
lot of gang shit, know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I got a lobster out there.
A nickname his mother gave him when he was young, meant to be a slang word for weed laced with coke. Within only a few short months, he managed to get into everybody's Instagram feeds, and even surpassed 1 million followers, celebrating by creating a makeshift slip and slide at his local Chick-fil-A.
I hit 1 million fucking followers on Instagram. Boonk gang, a whole lot of motherfucking gang shit, you know what I'm saying? I hit a fucking 1 million followers. They ain't doing it like me. Woo! 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 1 million followers. 1 million fucking followers. 1 million followers. They ain't doing it like me, you know what I'm saying? I hit 1 million fucking followers. And hood slip and slide with it. Woo!
After that, he actually got a chance to collab with Fatboy FFC. Worldstar would start to share his clips all over YouTube, and everything seemed to be going his way. But of course, with the illegal nature of his stunts, it wasn't long before he would get arrested by the police. This occurred when he attempted to rob a Dunkin' Donuts. He was first given 60 days probation, which he would immediately violate, leading him to actually be rearrested, spending 2 weeks behind bars. You would think this would slow down Boonk Gang's momentum quite a bit, but in fact, he actually got even more popular once the hashtag #FreeBoonk began trending online. After his release, he decided to get back in the booth and started making more music. And just like that, Boonk was also a popping rapper on top of a star on Instagram. In the same style as his fellow SoundCloud rappers, he began to tattoo his face to a ridiculous degree, as well as indulging in drugs. This led him to get a meme created about him, claiming he looked like a school desk somebody had written on in the back of the class. Now you think this would hurt his career, but just like 6ix9ine before him, his meme status actually helped him out quite a bit because it would get shared all over Facebook, getting more eyes on him. You know what they say, all clout is good clout. He go on to drop over 10 songs on Worldstar Hip Hop, collaborated with Blockboy JB, and even got on No Jumper. Unfortunately though, the whole time he was blowing up with his music and Instagram antics, he wasn't actually gaining any money from it. Because of his drug abuse, he would start to lose some big name features. He was actually supposed to do a remix for Boonk Gang with Nicki Minaj and Lil Pump, but it fell through because Boonk just couldn't get to the studio and do what he needed to do. It's very clear the people he was hanging around with, as well as his management, didn't have his best interest in mind because they were actually just stealing right out of his pockets when he was too high to notice. As the years went on, his drug addiction got worse, starting a beef with Joker Gang over who was the real Joker.
No, fuck that bitch, nigga, fuck gang, pussy ass motherfucker, dog. Nigga think he gonna take the Joker shit, nigga. Ha, why so serious, my new game? Nigga, you must be out of your fucking mind, motherfucker. Stay in your lane, nigga. You ain't a motherfucking Joker.
Somebody find me that cracker Instagram. The white Joker. Bitch, I was locked up with you. We was locked up together. Ain't talking about see me in the street, you just smack the fuck out of me. Boy, you crazy as fuck.
Crashing his car off the side of the highway.
Hey, Boonk ain't the red beamer, know what I'm saying? Hey, Boonk.
Appearing on a DJ Vlad interview so drugged out he could barely even speak.
How you been, man? A lot has happened since last time we talked.
Chillin'.
And more. And on top of that, he actually got arrested a second time on drug and gun charges. However, it was his second appearance on No Jumper that would become his most infamous moment of all time, when an extremely drugged out Boonk, accompanied by Kid Boo, would appear on the podcast before getting up, passing out, smashing his head on the wall, and falling on Adam 22.
Whole lotta.
Help you up?
Shout out to the homie Boonk.
Oh my God, bro. Help me with this nigga, bro. Okay.
Of course, being in the presence of Adam 22, you know he was going to capitalize on the moment, and it went mega viral. But instead of laughing at Boonk like usual, many people began to worry about him. Many saying the way that Boonk was heading, he'd soon be dead. And that same exact month, he actually took things too far when he appeared on an Instagram live stream getting head from a girl, breaking the terms of service, and getting his account outright deleted. And you would think this would finally be the thing that actually stopped Boonk Gang, but once again, he just continued on doing the same antics he always did, until the one fateful day when he ran into somebody he actually owed money to. He ended up not taking the man's threats all that seriously, goofing around as usual, leading him to be struck in the face with a pair of brass knuckles. This ended up breaking his jaw, and he was laid out in a hospital for 6 weeks. Because of that, he couldn't chew any of his food and was forced to go on a liquid diet. And on top of that, he couldn't really do drugs anymore because his mouth was wired shut. And of course, he didn't really have any social media clout to keep him occupied. He had no choice but to sit with himself, realize exactly what he was doing, and decide to change his life around. For the next few months, John was very quiet on social media. In the time he was away, he would find God and began to heal himself spiritually. When he returned, he told his followers about what he did, and many flocked to his page to show support. before. No longer Boonk Gang, he was now John Gabbana, and the internet had a big happy feel-good moment for him. He rode off into the sunset as a positive example for the youth, having made enough money off of all of his antics to stay comfortable for the rest of his life. Right? That's what happened, right? Well, no, of course not, because this is the internet at the end of the day, and as much as they like to rally around a good cause and show support, its attention span is very short. And by the year of 2020, everybody had mostly forgotten about Boonk. He would appear on No Jumper to tell the world of his new faith, but Adam decided to take it upon himself to roast and make fun of Boonk the entire time. I mean, whatever, that's Adam 22 though. He then attempted to post some new lyrically focused songs on World Star Hip Hop, which everyone of course came and listened to show support to John. No, of course they didn't, and the views were way down. That wouldn't slow him down, because in 2020 he would attempt to drop an album on SoundCloud called New Beginnings that 6ix9ine would clown on, claiming it wouldn't even sell 10K. And even though there's no sales data for this release, I remember listening to the tape around the time and seeing how each song had less than 5,000 plays. Which just goes to show, as much as the internet likes to have a big old circle jerk about somebody getting better, they will not tune in and they will not care. By 2021, John was telling the world he would bring Boonk Gang back if people promised to listen to his music again. And then by the end of 2021, Boonk would box Supreme Patty in attempts to gain some clout back. And while some took the time to focus on just how far these two had come in their lives, most just didn't care, because by this point they were both fading stars. But I do have to say, Boonk did take the win, and that was a very good moment for him. After the fight was over, things would go quiet for a while, until Boonk began to date Woah Vicky, another past Instagram star who was known mostly for pretending to be black. The two would get baptized together, find God, and just overall seemed to be really happy together, giving the internet another happy, feel-good moment. But behind the scenes, things just weren't what they seemed, because after they broke up in late 2022, Vicky would come out against Boonk, claiming he was actually abusive, once again painting him in a bad light.
Like, what would you do if you was in a relationship with somebody and they call you a they hit you in the face like that, they you up, they tell you they'll throw your scrawny, they smash their baby mama in the beginning and lie to you about it, they ignore you all the time and don't tell you nothing, and then randomly hit you up 8 days later talking about, hey babe, everything good?
That basically brings us up to 2023, where Boonk has once again renamed himself to Spiritual Gabbana in attempts to bring himself just a little closer to the Lord. He also did an interview a few months back where he outlined all the abuse he went through during his childhood, which you think would be a good thing, but his mother actually fired back, telling the internet she never abused him.
John Gabbana, Boonk Gang, said that he grew up in the ghetto. He was in the hood. He grew up in the ghetto in the hood his entire life. He had nothing. He had to eat out of trash. He was running the streets. He was just so poor. Let's take a tour of the neighborhood he grew up in. Look at this. What do we have here? What do we have here? Does this house look familiar?
The situation is still progressing now, but it is a weird one, and it definitely is sad that this is still happening to Boonk all these years later. So what is the moral of this story? Well, fame is fleeting. It takes a very special type of person to stick around long term, and for someone with such an artificial gimmick like Boonk, he was sure to fade fast. On top of that, people online like to claim they care about the well-beings of those they watch, but at the end of the day, most people have more fun watching a train wreck than somebody actually get better, which is basically proven by John's total lack of relevance since leaving Boonk Gang behind. But either way, I am proud of John for getting sober and turning his life around. And if you're also proud of what he's done, then go listen to his music and leave a nice comment. It would probably help him out a lot more than you know. Because after all, this video wasn't made to hate on Boonk Gang. I don't want to make it seem like I really dislike the guy, because I don't. I like the music he made before and after he was Boonk Gang, and I have been following him for quite a while. It's just really shitty to see over and over again that people just don't listen to his music. He's just going through hard times, and everybody online is just like, oh, I remember John Gabbana. It got so much better for him after he found God, which may be true in his personal life, but at the end of the day, people just stop paying attention. So anyways, I hope that didn't come off as too negative, but either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched to the end of this video, leave a knife emoji in the comments below so I know that you did, as well as subscribing, because I'm almost to 5,000 subscribers and it would really help me out if you could do that. Follow me on Instagram, join my Discord server, and I have a second channel where I interview people, so if you want to check that out and be in on the ground floor of what we're building here, then I really appreciate that as well. But most of all, thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye.